Is there anything you would like to ask?
Yeah.
And
So
bring
I
up?
do have
Yeah,
a
go for it.
question.
Go for it. I've got a
So
couple of
like,
things.
so we've evolved as people, right? So why do we feel that we're trying to push the narrative of sticking in this dynamic of a relationship that may no longer fit for today's society in terms of marriage and monogamy?
Yes.
Do you feel there's alternatives that could work better for the modern woman and the modern man that would make more sense than trying to force people into something that used to work? It's like the school system no longer really works.
Okay.
Like, is there an evolved element?
I hear that. So one, I would say monogamy or non-monogamy isn't for everyone, right? I think the way it was before was just that everybody has to operate this way, and that was monogamy within marriage, right? Now, you're right, it's about developing other options. There is that, and for some people that is what's best for them. I would say one thing could be, for example, you have intermittent phases of monogamy within the relationship. So you could be, okay, maybe for the first couple of years, maybe you're non-monogamous, right? And then it could be you are monogamous. And then especially, because the longer you've been together, then you get used to each other. It could be a way to spice things up. And then you could try for a year where you're like, okay, let's try opening it up. Do you know what I mean? I think boundaries and rules, though, are important. Because if you're saying, okay, we're together, but we can physically be open to other experiences, you have to set certain boundaries. Like, I know it could be, you guys still have date night together at least once a week, or, that person may have you physically, but it's not like you're on the phone to them for an hour every night, because then it gets really blurred lines and it gets risky then. I think it's always going to bring a risk, but I think if you have a level of emotional intelligence, maturity and communication with each other, I think it can work. So I've talked to girls before, and I've been like, oh, would you, if we were together for 20 years, would you be open for periods where maybe we're open and then maybe we're closed? And I think more people are open to the idea, but I don't think it's the majority. I think most people, if they find someone that they want long term, they go, this is my
Do you think
person.
that's more in women or men that want it to be monogamous?
It's hard, because I've found that I understand why men would want that.
What, monogamy?
Yep. As in, if they're planning to have children with someone.
I was going to say that.
But I found for just a relationship, I found it's more women want it.
But isn't a relationship meant to be with the view to then...
Maybe, yeah.
Isn't that what relationships are? Isn't that why people enter into relationships, or do people just enter in relationships just to pass time?
Well, sometimes people can enter relationships because they're like, I love spending time with this person. I'm not sure if I would marry them. Depends what age they're at. So like people in their 20s, especially their early 20s, like they might get into a relationship because, I like being with this person. I don't know if I'm going to marry them yet. That's not a no, but it's not a yes.
Do you think guys do that more than women?
Yeah, I think women think more if they get into a relationship with a guy. They are thinking
marriage. We've married him within the first
down
week,
the
probably.
line.
I'm gonna marry him.
Well, I remember that I had someone on my podcast, and they were like, yeah, within 2 weeks a girl knows whether she wants to get into a relationship with a guy or not. Like,
Agreed.
Within 2 weeks a girl could commit to a guy.
100%.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's so quick. But you don't even know him.
I know. I think it's because we want to take them off the market.
That's why I said.
So it's like,
when it comes to relationship, monogamy is more from women.
Yeah, 100%. I don't want to share. I wouldn't share my underwear, so why am I going to share my man? It's weird. Knowingly, it depends. So if my partner came to me at the beginning and was like, you know what, I believe in polygamy or polyamory, whatever it was, I wouldn't shut down that idea. But at the same time, I can't imagine me loving somebody. If I'm willing to share you, it's because I'm not that interested in you. It's like I like elements of you, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not bothered. But if I like you, I'm like, mine.
I get that. I do think most people are like that. Okay, here's a difficult question then. Do you think with a guy that maybe you enjoy spending time with but isn't your first choice, you're happier to share him?
Yeah, because he's not my first choice. So like,
yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't matter if another girl comes takes him.
She's not gonna get to take him though.
She's like, I lay it down. She ain't taking him nowhere.
Like, my son's father cheated on me, but he never left me. I ended it, so he would have continued to cheat. But
Right.
if I was okay with that, and weirdly, I think me and his dad just met at the wrong time.
What do you mean?
So like my ability to understand other people's perspective now has grown a lot.
Right.
So he doesn't have emotional connections with other people. So he loved me and he wasn't seeking emotional connections with anybody. So it was just sex. So it's like, would I have been bothered about it? Probably not now.
So you understand more in men?
Is it the biology of men?
Yeah,
like
there's a different, like,
it
was just sex for him.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas when I was younger, I just like squished them all together because I didn't really have a logical mind at all. Like I couldn't break down and compartmentalize things.
So if you were together now and he cheated, do you think he would stay?
If he was honest about it. For me, it's the lies. Like, don't make me seem like, because I dream about, like, she's a witch. I dream about things, and so like if I'm asking you a question, it's because I already pretty much know. And especially because women love to just tell other women, I've been fucking your man. Yeah. So it's like, if I'm asking you, it's because I already know. So
why do you think women like to tell other women?
Because they want to take him.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Why else are they going to tell him?
Yeah.
What's the point?
I saw someone, I saw this online where the best way to respond if you're his wife and a girl that he's maybe cheated, like been having sex with, comes to you, be like, I've been having sex.
Like, okay.
They're like, the best way to respond is be like, oh yeah, I know, you're one of them girls. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. That's how I'd probably respond now. But when I was younger, I didn't respond like that.
So would you be with a guy who was just like, you're my number one in terms of my emotional connection, but I may have sex with other people from time to time?
As long as they tells me about it and... Because somebody came to mind then and I'm like, would I want to share him? Definitely not. Like I wouldn't want to share. Then no, like
would you? This is hard.
I'm like, no, I don't want to. No,
this is hard. Would you rather that he told you he was going to do that from jump, or would you rather that he didn't tell you, but your position in his life was never compromised, but he just never told you?
Yeah, the second.
You'd rather he never told you?
And my position in his life was never compromised? 100%.
I mean, oh, okay.
Because
neither of them are compromised. Just one you know, the other you don't.
No, because I'm then just going to be... I can create I write stories. I write books. So, like, I can create a whole story in my mind then. And so, if I don't know, and he's not lying to me... If I say to him, oh, where are you going? And he's like, nowhere. Oh, I'm with my friend, like, or a male friend, then it's a lie. So if I never asked, then don't come and be like, guess what I did today?
Okay.
I got my dick sucked and it wasn't about you. Like, don't tell me that. You know? Like, need to know basis kind of thing. Like,
would you want to be open on your end as well?
No.
So even if it was open, you'd be like, I'm closed.
Yeah, no.
Interesting.
Because if I'm having sex with you, it's because I've got an emotional connection to you.
Do you think that's it's a generalization, but do you think that's very much the case for most women to men? Like most women don't really want to be having sex with multiple guys if they love a guy.
Like for the average, yeah, of course. Like, because it's you're taking on energy it's an exchange of energy. So as a woman, you're taking on all of these energies. So if you're having multiple relationships physically, there has to be an emotional connection. And also, if your man pisses you off, then you're just gonna go to
Harry down the road.
Yeah. Chad and Tyrone.
Chad and Tyrone. I bet is your father, is he a Chad or Tyrone, the father of your...
My son's dad.
Yeah. Bet he is. He has to be. Well, you said it yourself. You were like, well, I used to just go for looks and all that back in the day. So. Okay,
so weirdly, like, he is actually really intelligent. Because he's in the military and he's a sergeant, and then he was... So he teaches now, and he teaches officers at Sandhurst and stuff, and so you have to have a level of intellect to be able to teach.
Very true.
And so, like, I think I underestimate him in his level of intellect because he's not as communicative. So he doesn't say what he knows.
Yes.
Then we'll be watching something. He'll say something. I'm like,
goddamn.
Oh, you actually have brain cells in there? What the fuck? Where you been hiding them from? Or Ethan will come home and tell me something that he's definitely come from his dad.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, you don't have to tell me.
I hear that.
But it's definitely.
Pow.